Hi, and welcome to The Leader's Edge, our weekly live interview show where Georgia Donaldson and I, Emily Chiwa, feature successful CEOs and professionals who are so kind to share their stories with us. We want to bring awareness, inspiration, and leadership tips for you to action to help you sharpen your competitive advantage and make a positive impact in your organization and community. Remember, if you are watching us live, you can leave a comment on LinkedIn if you want us to address the question on the show. So, our topic today is finding your purple cow. So, when you think of branding and positioning, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? This is just a question I'm asking you first thing. And how well do you think you have positioned your own brand if you are a business or yourself as a person? And if you're not too sure about your answers to the above, these questions that I just asked you, what we have just the person to help you. So, Georgia, kindly introduce our guest.
It is such a pleasure to be here, Emily and Dennis. Listen, we have a stalwart in the house today, and he is a force to be reckoned with. He is none other than Dennis Ramdeen. And Dennis has what, about over 30 years of experience. Dennis is on both the client side and the ad agency side in the business. And he talks about brand positioning. And he's going to be talking to us today, particularly how do we position ourselves as leaders. Dennis is also a creative writer. He has been writing for many years. And those of you who connect with him on LinkedIn, you would see some of the things that he has been writing that resonate with us. He has so many stories that he's going to share with us today, based on his experience that he has had in the many years of his field in brand positioning and advertising. Dennis, it's such a pleasure to have you join us today. I'd love for you to start off and tell me, talk to me as a leader. Why is it important for me to position myself properly as an individual and as a leader? Share with us.
So thank you for having me. And I'm really happy to be able to spend this time with you all to share some ideas. I think one of the temptations with that question you've just asked and with the topic of the day, positioning, is to cram as much into the offering as possible. Because I think the brain says more is better. That's how we've been brought up. More money is better, more marks are better, more houses you have, the more successful you are, etc. More is better. And a leader who does not have a single-minded position will not come through the noise, because the brain has only so much capacity to file away messages.
Yes.
So you help yourself by giving it less to process. So that leadership question is, if I come to be known as someone who is empathetic, and that's the flag I fly, then I will be firstly remembered, because before you even form the opinion, you have to remember who you are and what you said.
Yes.
Yes, that's
and
true.
then and then we will remember what you said, because you consistently portray that, live it in what you
Mm-hmm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
So back to this session, which is 15-20 minutes at most. What we
Yes.
must not do is try to make it a race and make it let's ram 26 ideas on the poor people. If we give them
In 15 minutes,
less,
less is
and
more.
they'll be able to hold it. My analogy is, if I
Yes.
threw 5 balls at you right now, Georgia, 5 balls, a red, a green, a purple, a blue, a pink, 5 of them,
Mhm.
and I tell you, catch.
Yes,
It's five coming at you. You pop. You might even catch none. You might catch
that's
one. You
true.
might
You
catch
That's
might
true.
none.
catch one, you might catch two, but you're definitely not catching five.
Yeah.
Or I might focus on my favorite color and try to catch that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah,
And if I only send you one, you have a better chance. It's still
Yes.
a
absolutely.
chance. You have to drop the one. The West Indies drop ones all the time. Um, But yeah,
So
so that's my point. Not
yeah,
five balls, one ball.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
Dennis, I love your point. And coming back to this idea of the subject of finding your purple cow, I know you have a story about why this is so important, and it links obviously to what you just said about the one. So tell us the short version of that story to get this point across about one.
Yeah. Firstly, a plug for Seth Godin, who's a digital mentor. I've never met him, never seen him live, but just many years ago when this digital thing started, um, I met him. So he has a book called The Purple Cow, and you all should
Mm-hmm.
go find it and read it. If you
Yeah.
want another book that's good is Rees and Trout, Ries and Trout, like the fish.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I think it's called Positioning, the Battle for the Mind, right? And referencing Trout, Rees and Trout, they say that you, they said it in French, cherchez le créneau, find your space. So you have that ladder to the mind, put the ladder, and it's going to the mind. And when you have to decide what's the space inside of there that you want to own. You
Mm.
want to
Mm-hmm.
own one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say it enough. Single minded, one thing. Okay. So, my best example of that was my time at Stag.
Mm.
Stag was a failing brand of many years. People may not realize that now. They see Stag everywhere and they like the Stag and they swear by the Stag and they put up their chest and say,
Must say.
I'm a Stag man and I'm a Stag woman and all of that nice stuff.
Yes.
Once upon a time, Stag was like dog. It was
Mm.
like looked down upon. You would go to
Mm-hmm.
a bar, like a fete, and let's say Stag has the rights to that fete and they only serving Stag, and somebody would say, that's all you have? And they will drink rum because it had no equity. We call it brand equity.
Right.
It's like a human being has equity. They have skills. They're a good roti maker or a good pastel maker or a good flower design or right. That's those skills and your character add up to equity. So back to Stag.
Right.
So we gave it a clear position, and that position was the recession fighter. At
Ah.
the
Mm.
time, Trinidad was going through a bad spell. The world, it was in the 80s, the early
Yeah.
80s. And we said, this is the beer. And the price was like $2, 2.50 for a beer.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, Carib had about 90% share, and Stag had six, Heineken had four. So
Mm.
Carib, the
The
Carib
market was carried.
owned the place.
Yeah.
So we didn't say, we just went straight for the jugular in terms of people were feeling the recession in their pocket,
Mm-hmm.
and this gave them an opportunity to access beer
Mm-hmm.
because it was cheap.
Right.
Mm.
And that position resulted in significant sales and people being attracted to the brand.
Mm.
So deciding on a clear position
Right.
and then operationalizing it. So
Right. And stick to it.
yes, and stick to it, of course.
Yes.
So the price was low. We started doing, if it's a recession fighter, it was almost like the common man's beer,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even the poor man's beer,
Mm-hmm.
the lower end of the spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
economic spectrum. So we got it into things like, how did that live in the marketing? We got into things like all fours, win ball cricket, things that spoke to the small man,
Grassroots.
Regular
Right.
man on the street. Yes.
grassroots. You would drive up Nelson Street in those days, and the whole of Nelson Street was green,
Mm-hmm.
right? So back to the positioning, recession fighter. We got Sparrow on TV singing it.
Mm-hmm.
Stag the recession fighter. No other beer tastes better, and so on. So everything we did drove that home, and people flocked to the Stag party.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, so
Okay.
So
that
that was so that's
So
your
if,
big
if
example. Sorry,
yes,
George.
if we were to bring it back home now to the individual, Dennis. So you're saying, as a leader, if I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, or I'm on Twitter, whichever, there should be some consistency across. So when people go
Absolutely,
onto each, there should be some consistency. That's the
absolutely,
positioning.
absolutely, absolutely.
Right.
In,
Emily,
in
you
my
had,
posts, in my posts, I try to be always about marketing.
mm-hmm,
I try to share, so I'm never selling.
right.
I'm very seldom buy me, buy me, buy me. People don't like that. They want genuine interact,
Mm-hmm.
genuine engagement.
Yeah.
Engagement.
You know, um, when I have someone contact me for the first time, and then next thing you know, they want to sell me something or
Mm-hmm.
try to engage me, you lose me right away.
Turns
I
Yeah.
you off.
call,
Yes.
I call that asking for a kiss on the first date.
Yes. Yes.
You have to do
You
your
didn't put
time,
out
hold
anything.
hands, but
You haven't put out anything to
buy a
allow.
box,
Take,
buy a
take a
box of
walk in
chicken
the
and
park
chips.
first.
Yeah, yeah, go slow, go slow. So the leader must also have a single position. That's not to say they're single dimension.
Certainly
You know,
not.
they do a lot of things, but they're known for being a good listener.
Mm-hmm.
They're known for being someone who is empathetic. You know,
Right.
they're known for their wit. It could be on humor,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
They're known for their sharp mind. You know,
I like that. Yes. Known for being a connector.
yeah,
Things like that. Right.
yeah. I
Emily,
was
you had a point that you wanted to share?
No, I was gonna go back to the story in terms of
Yes.
the end when Stag, I guess they eventually got the attention of the market leader, and it
Mm-hmm.
got bought out by the market leader. But the point was, I guess the positioning finally got the brand to break through that 4% or whatever it was
absolutely,
to
yeah,
significant enough numbers that it became a competitor itself, which is why
yeah,
Right.
it was out in the
yeah.
end, I suppose.
No, not everybody has the resources to do what Stag did.
Right.
Stag
Mm-hmm.
was owned by Heineken, Angostura, Cannings, three
Mm.
big, with local big and global big.
Yeah,
But if we take it to the roti shop, if we take it to the flower shop,
yeah.
in your own way too, you must have a position.
Right.
Um, what if we became the flower shop, the friendly flower shop?
Mm.
Everybody has flowers.
Mm-hmm.
The roses come from the same place in Costa Rica or wherever it comes from. So the flowers is the same thing. But when I pushed that door, I went somewhere this morning and I spoke to a nurse. She was bright. When I spoke to the doctor, they were bright. They were just bubbling. It's
Mm.
clear
Oh,
that they,
bright and bubbling, right?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, I don't mean bright brains.
Yeah.
Well,
Full,
we hope that
yeah,
the bright brains
yeah,
too.
exactly, as
Well, I
nurses
mean,
understand.
yes, but yes, I understand what you
Yeah.
mean. Yeah.
So,
Point
so,
is,
so, 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 what if you're the friendly flower shop,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
right?
the
And I
point is
don't
what?
mean, I don't
Mhm.
mean only the owner friendly.
Yes.
Yes,
I
it's
mean
like
from captain to
it's
cook, the
customer
lady in the back making the
Right.
experience.
flowers, who you can't see.
Yeah.
That's what you're
If she
known
come in
for.
front at all, she must understand the role. It's like the example of Walt Disney. They don't have employees; they have cast members.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is a cast member.
Right.
They have Mickey Mouse, and they have Dennis who cleaning the grounds.
Yes.
But Dennis knows where every toilet is. He knows when the next show starting. He
Right.
knows where the restaurant is. He knows where the emergency exit is. He knows where to find the hospital. Blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
So it's taking the one thing now and sending
Mm-hmm.
it through the organization.
Right.
Yeah.
I
You know,
love
you
that,
go to
Dennis.
in Trinidad, you go to a place and you say, just now, let me get the boss.
Yes, we do know that.
Yeah, no,
Unfortunately,
no, no,
yes.
no, 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 no. Yeah,
Yeah.
the boss have to let you. Of course, there will be some things you have to get the boss.
Of course.
I'm not getting crazy,
Yeah.
but there should be some things, a lot of things that
Yes.
you will have
Empowering other people.
empowering other people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think beyond empowering other people, I think it really comes down to, what, as you said, Dennis, what you are known for. So if
Right.
this is your brand and you're known to be friendly in the example you gave, everybody and the culture of the company is such that
Mm-hmm.
friendliness is like a tick. Like you have to be
Yes.
friendly to work here. This is
That's
Yes,
the
how you
way we do
position
things
yourself.
here.
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. So
Yeah.
let me give you a KFC experience. KFC, from the point of recruitment,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
let's say friendly is one, which
Yeah.
which I think it might be. From the point of recruitment, the HR scientists know how
Mm-hmm.
to recruit for friendly.
Correct.
Right.
That's my
They
point.
know how to recruit
Exactly.
for introverts.
Yes.
Yeah.
They know because they have all these tests, and you all know
Mm-hmm.
the names of the
Oh,
tests,
yeah. Tons of
Psychometric. Yeah.
assessments that you
Yeah.
can
right,
do.
right,
Yeah.
right, Briggs and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's not just so there's the recruitment, there's the training,
The training.
Mm-hmm.
there's the reward and recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The
Not
performance
once a year
assessment.
at a
Yeah.
Christmas party, every day.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're not giving a theater ticket or a voucher to high low every time. It's just a thank you.
Correct.
Right.
Emily, yesterday I asked you at 4 o'clock you were on your way out, your daughter have swimming lessons to help me with a file that I needed some more information on. You turned back, it took you about 10 minutes. You
Mm-hmm.
had to text your daughter and say you'd be a little bit late, and I really appreciated it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing that in front of the
Right.
company staff or whatever is the staff,
Yeah.
right? So you genuine recognition. You're not mama guy, Emily.
Yeah. And
Right.
genuine
Um,
recognition for the values
For the,
that
yes,
you
that's
see
it.
the
yes,
employee displaying that is
yes,
Yes.
in accordance with the values that you want the
right,
company to have
Yes.
right,
and to emulate, right? Because this is the experience you want people to have when they have an experience
Yes.
with you. And I
right,
think that is what you're saying, Dennis, to out. So whether it's personal branding, whether it's business
Mm-hmm.
branding, what is the experience you want people to have with you? And you then do that. You be that,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
not just do, but
yes,
be that, so that
yes,
people feel that when they
yes.
come
So
to
let me give you
your,
let me give you the science now.
yeah,
So picture three circles,
uh-huh.
and they form a but
They
What they call
intersect
them, concentric
Venn
they
diagram.
circles.
cross, and they have a middle point. So what is
Yeah,
that? A Venn?
the
A
Venn
Venn?
diagram. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So one circle is what consumers want.
Mm-hmm.
We going back to the positioning thing of the
Mm-hmm.
rock or of the ketchup or of the Kentucky Fried Chicken or
Mm-hmm.
of the broadcaster. Um, one is what consumers want.
Mm-hmm.
One is what your competitors or are good at or already own, and
Mm-hmm.
one is what you are good at.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You have me? So
Yes.
it's three of them.
Three
Mm-hmm.
circles.
So ideally, you want to own one of the top things that consumers want.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, for argument's sake of this thing, that what consumers want in a restaurant, a quick service restaurant, is speed.
Right.
Let's just
Mm-hmm.
say that is number one by far. You want to own speed, but your competitor may already own it.
Mm-hmm.
So forget speed. Because if they were saying, when you come in here, you're in and out in 90 seconds, and they've been saying that for 10 years, don't try to own speed.
Okay.
That's already taken.
That's already owned.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Go on to number second.
Mm-hmm.
Let's again, for purposes of this conversation, say it was hospitality.
Mm-hmm.
People greet me, they say good morning, they say thank you for coming, have a nice day. They see I buy 3 buckets or a lot of groceries, and they follow me to the car park and help me put it in the car because I have
Mm-hmm.
a picture on in one in each hand, and they see I'm under pressure and rain falling. And by the way, they have an umbrella.
Umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. So it's so let's say it was number two that you're going after, right? Because it's not owned.
Right.
You must be good at that hospitality.
Right.
Now
Mm-hmm.
you can't just say I own it and go on TV and say I own it. I'm the hospitality people. Yeah, you
And
have
you
to
don't do
deliver it.
anything.
And you don't do
You have
And
to
it.
you're
deliver
and
it. You have to
yeah.
train it. You have to recruit for it. You have to
Mm-hmm.
live it. So you may not be great at hospitality now, but you decide that is what I want to be. It's
Right.
available. It's important to consumers. That's my game.
Yeah.
And I start now. I am at 42 out of 100 in hospitality. My first step is I want to get to 50, and then I want to
Mhm.
get up to 86.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so you plan for it and you work towards it, and then that becomes your single-minded focus.
Yeah.
Not that you're not cleaning the counter, not that you're not doing a lot of other all the other things that you
Making
have to
sure your
do.
food tastes good.
How you're getting into that mind that Reese and Trout talk about is
Right.
with one thing, right?
Hmm.
Pick your one thing.
Yeah.
Pick your one
I
thing.
don't. I
Pick
think
the
that's
one thing and own it.
yes. I own it. Um, and I prefer to own an emotional one thing rather than a
Oh,
physical thing, because a physical one, it could be replicated easier.
easily.
You know, if
Yes.
you say I have 30% more nuts in my peanut butter,
Hmm.
next week you
Somebody
could
could
go
come
and
and
put it.
go 40%.
You
Yeah.
could go and put
Yeah.
35%. So that one easy. But
Yeah.
if I say that my peanut butter make kids giggle or make
Hmm.
kids
Happy.
yeah
Right.
happy or get it makes them feel like Superman, then that one harder.
That one hard to replicate.
That one harder, yeah.
Yeah.
You could still try, but it harder.
Yeah.
Right.
So less is more.
Love
Mm-hmm.
it.
Pick your one thing, and where those three circles
Intersect.
intersect,
Intersect.
that is your one thing,
Right.
because you are good at something that's important to the consumer that the
Hmm.
competitor doesn't already own.
Love
So
that.
Excellent.
three things, three boxes you're ticking.
Right.
Excellent. So, Dennis and Georgia, we are over time. However, I think this has been a real value and a treat
Hmm.
to have you here, Dennis, to break down this idea of positioning and to make it something that more of us can access
Hmm.
and do the one thing. And remember, we're doing this one thing forever when we pick it.
Yes. What's your one thing,
Oh gosh,
Yes.
Emily?
Dennis.
What's your one thing, Georgia?
Me connecting people.
Right,
Yeah. I think
right,
that's one thing. Yeah.
right,
Okay.
It
right,
brings me joy and it brings other people joy.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, I like connecting
So
because it's
here
it's
we are
it's
connecting each other because
connecting. It's
I've
kind
been,
of a hybrid between functional and emotional, but I get
yes,
enough emotional in it.
yes,
You know?
yes.
Yeah,
And look, I've been connecting with your posts on LinkedIn,
yeah,
and here we are.
yeah,
Here we are.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So Emily, you have some
Well,
homework to do.
my one thing is, I mean, I just actually enjoy and love how our minds work and how to help people, rejig things so that they
Hmm.
can actually become better and better. So that's my one thing. It's always been my thing. It's been something I've been interested in for myself, that I've been always reading up on and whatnot. And then eventually, when I found coaching, it has been my thing. So
Yeah.
mindset, helping people expand horizons, vision, you know, through people, through conversations like this, through other things,
Hmm.
being able to support that growth. And I think, that makes an impact because we like it expands out and out, So we have this conversation, we touch, I don't know, 100 people. They choose their one thing, and then
Yeah.
another, 100 people. So it's like that for me. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
Dennis.
we know brand positioning is your one thing, Dennis. That's for
Yes,
sure.
my one thing is helping people find their one thing.
Yeah. Love it.
Beautiful, beautiful. So
Uh,
so thank you again, Dennis. Thank you,
Yeah.
Georgia. This has been wonderful.
yes.
I know it's going to be valuable for everybody who listens. So again, you guys have a great day, have a great rest of the day, and don't forget to
Yes.
choose your one thing.
There you
Thank
go.
you. Thank you.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.
Bye.